G'day, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. What you're seeing right now is the table or the standings, and Pittsburgh is right down the bottom. Like far out, guys. We're right down the bottom. We have not yet been eliminated from the playoffs. Playoffs? Oh, sorry, I love doing that Jim Moore voice. Playoffs? We just got to go win a game. Right, well, I love doing that voice, even though I can't do it very well. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not yet mathematically been eliminated from the playoffs, right? But I know, there's no way they're gonna make it, right? This is the way I deal with it, the way I do my content, the way I hope to see my team win and your team win too. The Steeler Nation to see them win. Okay, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 5-8. I understand that they pretty much need to run the table right now. Being 5-8, they have to run the table and go 9-8. That's probably the best case scenario to have a chance to get the playoff seed, right? The playoff seed being number 7, because at number 7 is New England. They're on 7-6. Miami was on 8-5. Cincinnati on 9-4. The best case scenario is to try and get the 7th seed right now in the playoff hunt. However, there's quite a few teams in front of us. So I'm not going to go, tally up the next 4 weeks. I'm pretty much going to go week by week. And this week, to my understanding, I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers can get eliminated even if these teams win. Say, for instance, if the Chargers win, the Jets win, the Jacksonville Jaguars win, Raiders win, and Cleveland wins, I don't think they can be eliminated if they win. I believe the Steelers can still, I know it sounds crazy, but they can still have a chance at the playoffs if Chargers, Jets, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, and Cleveland win. Right? Because the Chargers would move to 8-6, then they would need to lose the next 3, and they will go 8-9, right? So as long as these teams don't get to 9, then we have a chance. I think if the Chargers or Jets, they get to 9 wins, then they're going to be in front of us, right? The Jets have a tiebreaker over us, and so do the Patriots. So this is where it gets kind of crazy and complicated. However, the best case scenario this week for our Steelers is pretty much this, right? So we've had the San Fran beat the Seahawks. That's done. Colts versus the Vikings. It doesn't matter about that game. It doesn't overly matter. The Colts can win. The Vikings can lose. It doesn't matter because we got the win over them. Now Ravens versus Browns. We actually want to see. I know this sounds crazy, but we want to see the Browns win. But that also doesn't overly matter because the Ravens have so many different wins already. They're already on 9. So I think the Browns winning is probably the best case scenario. Now, Dolphins versus Bills isn't also that important because the Dolphins sitting at 8-6. So we want to see the Bills winning, extend their lead, and bring the Miami Dolphins to 8-7 so they can drop down. So Miami Dolphins losing would be key for a possibility of getting the 7th seed or maybe 6th seed, depending how it goes, right? Now, Falcons versus Saints, doesn't matter. Steelers versus Panthers, of course, we want to see the Steelers win. If the Steelers don't win this week, then yeah, it's pretty much done. Done like a roast dinner. Done. Now, Eagles versus Bears, it doesn't matter. Chiefs versus Texans, doesn't matter. Now, Cowboys versus Jaguars. This is another team that sits, right? If you look at the table, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 5-8. So they're in a very similar situation to us. They need to win. So Jacksonville needs to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Otherwise, their season might be over too. So to climb the rank from being 13th on this list in the standings, we need Jacksonville to lose. That would be fantastic. However, if they do win, it doesn't overly matter because then we need them to lose the last 3 games. But going week by week, it would be very fortunate to see and lucky to see Jacksonville lose against Dallas. Now, that can happen. Now, moving on to the other games this week. The next one's a big one, right? Detroit Lions versus New York Jets. Another one where the Jets are at the 9th standing here, 7-6. Now, if the Jets or the Patriots or Chargers, I think, win 3 games out of 4, then we have no hope, right? So we pretty much need the Chargers, the Jets, and Patriots to lose 3 games out of 4, which is probably why we're so far down the bottom. Like, we're 13th. It's not going to happen, right? I think we have like a 0.1% chance of making it, right? But there's still a chance. So in the next 4 games, the Steelers have to win them all. The Chargers have to lose 3 out of 4. The Jets got to lose 3 out of 4. And I think the other teams like the Las Vegas Raiders, if we win 4 out of 4, we'll have the advantage. And same with the Browns, right? So the main competition right now is, funnily enough, Jacksonville. If they win 4 out of 4, they're going to be in front. If the Jets win 3 out of 4, they're going to be in front. If the Chargers win 3 out of 4, they're going to be in front, right? So these are some key teams that we need to see lose. We need to cheer on the Detroit Lions to beat the Jets so we can have another week of speculation. Will we go to the playoffs, right? We also have the Tennessee Titans versus the Chargers. So we've got to cheer on the Tennessee Titans to win that game against the Chargers. Patriots versus Raiders. And funnily enough, too, we've got to cheer the Raiders on to beat the Patriots. That's another big game because if the Patriots win that game or the Chargers win that game or the Jets win that game, then they are only one game away from ending the Steelers' playoff chances. Now, moving on, the Bengals play the Bucs. It doesn't overly matter. We can't win the North. And then it's Giants versus Washington. Then it's LA versus Green Bay. No one cares about that game. So pretty much, guys, in a nutshell, the Chargers need to lose this week. Jets got to lose and Patriots got to lose. But what are the odds of that happening? So Lions versus Jets, I can see the Lions beating the Jets. I think the Lions are a much better team right now. Now, Patriots versus the Raiders. We need the Raiders to sneak away with one, even though the Patriots are playing some good football and defense right now. We need the Raiders at home to sneak away with that win, right? Because then we play the Raiders in the week after Christmas Eve. So we need the Raiders to take care of business, at least for this week, and it gives a chance. Now, Titans versus San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. I believe the Titans can get it done, but they're playing in LA. And Justin Herbert's playing some good football right now too, and they're playing for playoffs. So I'm not saying it's over yet, guys, but to a certain degree, it kind of feels like it is. It feels like it is a little bit over. Playoffs, there's a small chance, a very, very small chance the Steelers can win. I know a lot of guys are checked out and not worried about it, but if those teams lose, then for another week, we'll have to try and figure out mathematically if we can make it. So we need those 4 teams to lose at least, and the Steelers to win. That's the main thing. If the Steelers don't win, all this goes away. It doesn't matter, right? They got to take care of their own business. If they don't win this game, then they're done. But it's crazy to me to see this team, the Steelers 5-8, with still a chance for the playoffs, right? But even if the teams like the Chargers, Jets, and the Patriots win this week, it's not over. It's not over yet. It gets harder, but it's not over. But then next week, you have to see those teams lose some games. But also comes down to week 18, which might stuff a few things up because you have Patriots versus Bills. You want to see the Bills win in week 18. You'd have to rely on Denver beating Chargers, which would be hard to see. You'd have to rely on the Dolphins beating the Jets. You'd have to rely on so many things to happen. So we're not out of it yet. Also, you'd have to rely on, if the Jets win this week, you got to see the Jaguars beat the Jets next week. I've named a lot of names. I've probably confused you guys all. But the main point is the Steelers need to win this game. And if some teams lose, they're not out of it. So I will catch you guys next week with the same scenario if we're still alive in the playoff race, because mathematically, they're not out of it yet. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 13. I would love to see the Chargers lose, Jets lose, Jacksonville lose, all these teams lose, and we will at least go at 1-6-8 and have a chance, because you need, if you're a chance in the dance, you might as well go for it, right? But other than that, guys, I've got nothing else to add. Thank you for checking out Steel Nation Australia, and I'll see you later.
Coach Stumlin, let's go for the win, man.